start with that project player, ladies and gents. For those that haven't heard of the name, I'm going to be honest, when it was first given to us, it was a little bit of who, what, how does it work? So Jesus Rodriguez, a starlet who's broken through from Betis, Spain, 19 years old, Bart, left winger. Now, when we got the info on Jesus Rodriguez, I think we were both like, who the heck is that, first of all, type of thing. So left winger, we know we've talked about that position. The info we've got so far is very much project. And only recently signed a contract extension with Betis just in September, just gone. So contract till 2029, really burst through there. Very much seen as one-on-one, a specialist in that, really, really high potential in this area. But I know you're going to scream at me, sample size. I know you're going to scream at me, who. Let's get into the minutes, the metrics, and see what we come up with on this one.
Yeah, he's played 843 minutes in La Liga this season. This is his first proper season, should we say. And I'm not. The reason I would say that is, yes, he's played youth and he's played all that, but they're so different. Like, you know, you see the press about our under 21s getting beat at the weekend by City, but you don't know whether we've moved all those players up and down. It's never really comparable. So that's why I would always try and caveat with, let's look at the actual minutes he's played. So he's played 843 in the Liga. Conference League, all right, 303, fair enough. But again, that's that's lower than Europa League, right? I mean, not even United playing that. So yeah, it's different. He's 19, and I think that's a really important point, right? He is a kid. He's literally a kid. Whenever you and I probably see data bursts where the end in 005, you're thinking, wow, we're old, you know, but that is generally with this kid, right? So that's his minutes. I mean, in terms of what has he done this season, sort of standard stats, if you like, he has got top of per 90. He's got 0.22 non-penalty XG and XA, which is not bad, all things considered. He's not having a negative impact, or not having an overly negative impact on the team when he's on, but he's not having a hugely positive impact. So, I mean, that's not a bad thing as a kid at the end of the day. Anything else to really write? It's really hard to sort of. He's got take-ons 34% success rate, which is what you pointed out as being a one-on-one, which is very decent for a kid still learning his trades. And they rank 90. So in terms of, just trying to put his passing, there we go. So attempted 243. He has switches, not so many crosses, 1.38 a game. So okay, it's fair enough. It's he's got some interesting stats, should we say? And he's not played. So he's played in a winning Betis team, and then they've gone on a bit of a run. But they've played Barcelona and Villarreal, who are clearly better sides than them. So that's kind of where we are. If we look at our usual percentiles, we always start here after we looked at the general stats. Defensively, this kind of thing makes me think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
He's a kid. And normally you put a kid in to get an attacking player, and it's like, just go and attack. Get the ball, go and do the thing you're good at.
Yeah.
Right? Go and do that thing, and we'll work on the off-ball stuff. Look at CJ, came in the team for us, right, and was an attacking left side 10, scored the one that got an FA Cup against Everton, and then he learned Klopp and Pep taught him the off-ball and the recycling, right? So that's generally what happens with the youth player. But for this guy, he's actually in the 94th percentile for blocks. Nice. He's in the 83rd percentile for interceptions, which means he's proactive with blocking past the lanes and proactive when he's defending. And 78th percentile for tackle. So when he has made a mistake, he's quite happy to get back and make a tackle. So that's actually quite surprisingly good for a 19-year-old, considering this is against all wingers, right, in the last 365 days, right? Yeah. If you look at what he does between the boxes, which is the stuff that you're effectively buying him for, progressive passage received, 66 percentile. So not high, not low. Suggests he kind of receives it half an hour, sometimes high, sometimes in the mid block, right? When he's receiving it in the mid, he's asked to carry it. So he's got 77 progressive carries. So he receives it, progressively carries it 20%. Doesn't make a progressive pass. His pass completion, 22nd percentile for a winger, is a little bit low, 71%. Passes attempted, so the volume isn't good either. It's at 9th percentile. So he's basically getting it, running, taking something on, getting tackled, losing the ball. Yeah, that's kind of what's happening, right? If you look at touches in the penalty box, 76th percentile. So that's again 3/4 of the time he's spending in the penalty box. That's okay. That's fine. And the big thing you've already pointed out is take-ons. He's in the 90th percentile. So he takes a player on successfully. It's just he might not do anything after that take-on. Yeah. And particularly if you look at the stuff that matters, the goal stuff, non-penalty goals, 9th percentile for a winger, so 0.1, sorry. Non-penalty goals, 0.2, again, 37th percentile. Shots, doesn't shoot a lot, 50th percentile. So if he's going to play wide for us, he has to shoot more, right? Shot creation actions, 3.2, which is 29th percentile for a winger. You need him to be a lot higher than that. And if we compare him with Diaz, who is kind of probably the one that will move on and make a space for him potentially, you know, whichever way you want to look at it. It's probably a little bit unfair because Diaz pretty much monsters him. But then the thing that this guy has more over Diaz is that defensive element. He's miles better than Diaz defensively. And considering Diaz is often, you can see, has been really trained hard to do a lot of high press to the rest of it. That's quite an impressive thing to look for a kid. It's just that attacking wise, the only thing is better than Diaz is carries and take-ons. But again, if you think of it, Diaz the last 5 games, that's what he's been doing, isn't he? He's been taking a player on and beating him. So yeah, there's some things here you could see. If you compare him to our other left winger, if I can find him.
Yeah, it's Mr. Gakpo on there.
Mr. Gakpo. Cody kind of monsters him on anything apart from blocks and the take-ons, because that's not Cody's game. Cody doesn't progress with the ball. He'll do a dribble and the rest of it, but that's not his game. So Cody is the more complete player. Cody is older, and Cody scores more goals. But Cody scores more goals than both the two have looked at. Yeah. So yeah, I could see him maybe being a project player to be a bit like Diaz. If you look at it, he's not like Cody. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Looking at the dashboard that I would run, he's playing in these sort of areas. So left half space, gets a lot of connections, which is good. Seems to be trusted. If you look at his touches, he's getting the ball or a touch pretty much every minute of the game, bar a couple of little quiet moments, which is good. And where's he receiving it? If we look at our progressive passes, chains, he's in good chains down the left-hand side. And he's also received 1 progressive pass in the game, which is not a lot. But then, again, we always talk about opportunity. Our bet is that kind of side, you know. So that might not be their game. Threat down his side, he's got, this is the whole game. That's 10. That's about 20% of their threat is down this side. Versus 25 something on the right. So balanced, but he carries his fair amount of threat for a kid. What does he do defensively? He defends pretty well in terms of EPP threat base. So he faced not a lot, but he defended 100% of it, which is pretty good. Off the ball, puts what's that, 14% of the defensive actions for the team he puts in, which is good. Betis clearly aren't a high pressing side though, so they see here they got a defensive low block. So that'd be interesting in terms of XG. Didn't produce a lot in this game and had 2 shots, sorry, but both not in an area we would ask one of our wingers to shoot from. So, yeah, I think it's an interesting one. So even here, he's got a dual success of 75%, which shows you that off-ball stuff. On the ball, though, 52% passing rate. He's probably... So I think to caveat all of this, he's a kid. He's very good at taking players on. It's the classic saying of end product is the bit that we might need to work with him, but you can do it at 19. But the really plus point for me is defensively, it looks like he's already learned a lot of the skills that we would require a left winger to be able to do, which is quite impressive, really, for a 19-year-old. It just means you can work more on his attacking output rather than having to focus on how to do this off the ball. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. It's not like something else you showed me, and I've gone, "What the hell are you showing me here?" This kid is certainly there's a few little things, and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I can see that." I haven't got his pace, his top speed, or his distance. Apologies for that, but I'm guessing it would be quick. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be looking at it.
Yeah, that's kind of the info that we have. And I don't have it either, but that he is quick, which you kind of expect from a winger who specialises in one-on-one. They're not going to be slow by nature, are they? In that regard, I suppose. Is it fair to say in this analysis and what I took from that, Bart, that we can see why he likes him? Because out of the three areas, the defensive element and the teamwork for a left winger, tick. There's a lot of green, a lot of really impressive green for a young kid as well. In that middle third, or progressing it that you talk about, that's where he shines in terms of successful take-ons, the carries that way as well, and getting up the pitch that way definitely is where it's falling down. And this is sometimes when you talk about it with kids and they're so young and the sample size has got to come into it again. There's nothing really there in terms of analysing on output that this could be a player that, of course, they're looking at because he's hitting so many metrics, but they'd want to see another year, maybe more of, does output start to scale up before they considered that? Almost if we did have a multi-club, this would be a great player to stick there.
For sure, which is funny enough, the same country we're looking at buying another club in. So, yeah, that would work, because I think if you left it a year and he suddenly had a breakout season next year, his output starts matching what between the boxes and off ball, then this player might be, you're talking the value goes up through the roof, and they might not take the punt on it. But I think he's a bit too raw for us to go, yeah, we'll have him now, right? So yeah, that is where a second club really comes into his own. Whether you agree with that or not, right? Let's not get into debate about that now.
Yeah.
But say we bought him and parted him at Malaga, I think it is, who we're looking at, we may be buying or may not be. That would be a perfect. You could have a whole season there. We could then really see if it upscales, right? And if he upscales, then you just bring him back to Liverpool, didn't you? If he doesn't, you've not lost anything, because your second club will benefit because he's a young player's back, right? So he's gonna hold. So yeah, I think that's where it would do. I'm not sure buying him this summer to come to Anfield makes a lot of sense, but maybe for a second club, 100%.
Yeah, it kind of has one of those feels that if by any chance there's just a little bit of money left over and we do a deal or loan him back possibly, but I think, it's just too raw to see it being a solid first team option right now. So potential for Rodriguez, not for now though, fair to say.